Welcome back to the 8th episode of the Completely Random Foolishness podcast, hosted by me, Asia. Today we're going to be talking about TikTok. And I call this segment, TikTok is Problematic. We all know that. We all know that TikTok is bad. And I know we all remember how Dame Tu Cosita, yeah, you know how that took over everything, right? And I bet you that if this podcast was monetized, guys, you would have gotten a TikTok a TikTok ad before this episode even played. Now, the only reason that I'm talking about this now, that I'm just now choosing to rant about this instead of doing it years ago when this thing came out, I guess, is because of the amount of TikTok ads that I have been getting recently. It used to be that I would get 1 or 2 Musical.ly ads every now and then Dame Tu Cosita happened, and then TikTok. And then there was TikTok. And now it seems like every single video that I watch on YouTube, 1 out of every 3 of them is going to be a TikTok ad, and that is so irritating. I can't stand it. I remember 4 seconds, 4 very, very special seconds in my life where I was truly happy. And that was this summer when I heard that Musical.ly was over. It was great. It was the greatest 4 seconds of my life. And I rejoiced out into the heavens and I said, praise the Lord, Musical.ly is over. Hallelujah. But then they kicked my feet right from under me, because right after that they announced that Musical.ly was not only over, but it had been bought out by another company, and it was now merging into something known as TikTok. Yes. And so TikTok, the phone app form of the plague was born. I'm being really dramatic, but you have no clue how much I hate this app. Okay, so the thing is though, TikTok already existed before it merged with Musical.ly, so I have no clue what TikTok was before it merged with Musical.ly. Because now when I see TikTok, all I see is Musical.ly. So I just want to know, what exactly did they merge? Did they just change the name? What? I don't understand. I don't know. But, it's now, yeah, like I said, now it's just kind of like a lip sync app, which is the same thing Musical.ly was. So what is TikTok? I don't know. Anyway, earlier this summer, around June-ish, before Musical.ly became TikTok, that was in August. But in June, it was still Musical.ly. And I remember this 13-year-old boy asking me if I had a Musical.ly. Let me stop. I told him no. I was like, why would I have a Musical.ly? He was shocked. He was like, why not? It's the greatest app. It's the best. And after someone says something like that to you, you have to sit and you think for a second. I was trying to figure out if he was being sarcastic, but no, he was serious. He was very, very serious. And I found myself at a loss for words. And I kind of wanted to tell him, I was like, dude, there's a snowball's chance in hell that I would have an app populated and overrun by 12-year-olds. But I didn't want to be mean, because I knew that that was his favorite thing, and apparently people his age really like that. Because he then went on to tell me that his friends, they all used it, and it just, everyone had one. And I was like, what, every 13-year-old? Because I'm not 13. I'm not. I don't have it. Well, what I didn't tell him is that, yes, I did actually have a Musical.ly account, but before you cast the first stone, let me explain. You see, at one point I did have the Musical.ly app downloaded on my phone, but that was a long time ago. Let me tell you why I had it. I myself have always hated, from the day that I heard about Musical.ly, from like that point until now, I have never been a fan. I've always found it stupid and cringy, and it's basically just like full of prepubescent girls that want to be sexy. Why would I want that? Why would I want that app? So, but, you know, I said to myself, it's got to be something to it. If all these people are into it, it's got to be something there. So before I judge this app, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. I didn't want to judge it, the app, or the musers as they're known. Well, now they're probably known as the TikTokers or something. I don't know. But back then they were the musers, and I didn't want to judge them or the app itself until I had gotten a feel for what it actually was. So I downloaded the app, and I made a couple of Musical.lys. Do you call them that? Do you call them Musical.lys? Or do you call them musicals or musics? What do you call them? I don't know. I made a couple of whatever they were, and I quickly understood that you don't actually have to have any talent to make a Musical.ly. You could be really untalented, like just horrifically untalented, and make a Musical.ly, because all these people were doing basically was lip syncing, and not even to just songs. I can see you lip syncing to a song, and that's fine if you actually look like you're singing it and not just moving your mouth, because you can tell when someone is just moving their mouth. You need to go, like, if you want to learn how to lip sync, go ask Taylor Swift. She's got that down to a science now, you know. But they would not only do songs, but they would do comedy. So you would take something that was funny in its original form. Funny because, you know, how do I explain this? It was funny in its original form because it was in its original form. And it's because it was who the people were that were saying it. So you can't just take a clip from a TV show and lip sync it and think that it's still funny. Because it's not. Especially if you're just sitting there and the camera's focused just dead on your face and all you're doing is moving your mouth. What you're doing doesn't even fit with the original clip's intended meaning. It's not funny anymore. And, you know, that's basically most of what Musical.ly was. And it was, you know, it was just cringy. I knew it was cringy before I downloaded it, and it was every bit as cringy as I imagined it after I downloaded it. So I try to forget that I actually had a Musical.ly at one point. I try to forget that fact. Anyway, after I made a couple of Musical.lys, I watched some of the recommended videos, like the more popular ones. I think they have a section for that. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked on it in a while. But I think they had like a section. It was probably like a feed. Like, you know, your Instagram feed or something like that. It was probably just like, yeah, like a list of people that you don't follow, but it's just popular. And I remember watching two that stood out in particular. One of them was this black man who remixed this song. I don't even remember what the song was about, but I do know that it was the combination of a couple of different things that made it funny. It was his facial expressions, his camera work, and the new lyrics that he had made. All of that combined is what made it funny. Not just the fact that he was lip syncing. It was all of that. And I'll get back to that in a second. But the second one that I remember was this girl who was dancing. And it wasn't like the belly dance thing that what's that girl's name? I can't think of it, but there's like 3 girls in particular I can think of actually that I just looked up this morning specifically for this video that do this belly dancing for TikTok. Oh, why did I put quotations around TikTok? But they do belly dancing for TikTok, and it's kind of weird because I think these girls are not even 18 yet. Well, I know 2 of them aren't 18, but there's one in particular. I don't know how old she is, but she's probably not. She's probably not 18. So that just makes it weird. But it wasn't that kind of dance. I watched this girl dance, and she was a really good dancer. You could tell that even though she was wasting her time and her talent on Musical.ly, she was actually a good dancer. And she was dancing to a song about a banana. It was like really stupid. But I learned two things. I came to a conclusion. No, I learned, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. I came to a conclusion. For the most part, Musical.ly was full of all the wrong things. For the most part. And it would never be good as long as the majority of the users either A, did nothing but lip sync and put no effort into it, and B, tried to be hot on an app for kids. But at the same time, I have to give people credit. Some people credit, like the guy who remixed that song. It was funny. Like the girl who was dancing to the Banana song. That was funny. It was good. She had talent. He had talent. But most of Musical.ly is not people with talent. Musical.ly is generally people who, like I said, lip sync. And not the good kind of lip syncing. And I think the best example of someone who put a lot of effort into their Musical.lys is Liza Koshy. She had very interesting Musical.lys, and they were never, not once have I ever seen one of her Musical.lys like be boring. I don't know, they're not normal. She always puts effort into it. She always makes them her own. They're always original looking, that kind of thing. But of course that's objective. If you already don't like Liza Koshy, you're probably not going to find her Musical.lys funny either. While we're on that subject, I do want to give Liza some props because I think that she's honestly and legitimately one of the world's sweetest people. And, you know, so I guess what I'm trying to say is for the amount of hate that I've been seeing her get lately, especially lately, she's always been getting hate, but, like, lately it's been getting worse. I don't think she deserves it. If you don't like her content, you don't have to watch it, and it goes for anybody. If you don't like what you see, don't click on it. You don't have to watch it. No one is forcing you. But I bring this up because it's so easy to hop on the hate train just because you see other people writing it. So it's like, instead of actually forming your own opinions, what you do is you just take the opinion that you think everyone else has. Instead of like taking the time to research it for yourself, look into it for yourself, see why you think it's, you know, worth being unliked, you just hop on the train that everyone else, you know, is on it. It's like one person doesn't like Liza and then all of a sudden it's cool to bash her. And it's not just her, that goes for anything. So, you know, she said, and now I'm starting to talk about Liza, one more thing. She said in her breakup video that she was learning to love herself. And she said a lot of things, and it was really quite apparent that, you know, I don't know, I won't say she doesn't find herself funny, but I don't think she thinks her content is as good as it can be. And I don't think that, well, I do think that she struggles with her self-image, which is why she and David broke up. Well, one of the reasons anyway. And she even stopped posting on her main channel because she said in a video, or it might not have been in a video, I think she posted like a little paragraph or something saying that she didn't think her content was the best at that moment and she wanted to take a break because she didn't want to put anything out there that she didn't feel like she was putting her all into. And so, you know, my thing is, you know, why kick a horse when it's already down? I think I mixed up two quotes there. But why kick a horse when it's already down? You know, she already feels like that, so let's not beat her up about it. It's really, at this point, it feels like a bunch of people hopping on the hate train. But that's my point with Musical.ly. I didn't want to be that person to become a bandwagon Musical.ly hater without actually knowing why I hated Musical.ly. So that's why I downloaded the app. I had to find out for myself why it was the worst thing ever. I already knew it was, I just had to find out why. Anyway, now that I've armed myself with this knowledge, I feel completely prepared to trash TikTok. You heard me. I feel completely prepared to trash TikTok. And so that is why on my precious Samsung Note 8 phone last night I downloaded TikTok. Ooh, my phone. Okay, I dropped my phone. But that's why I downloaded TikTok, because I wanted to see, I didn't want to make a video about TikTok without knowing how bad TikTok was. I knew Musical.ly was bad, And I had a Musical.ly, but I never had a TikTok. So I said, I can't talk about TikTok until I look into it for myself. And so I downloaded it, and it what do you call the word? It transferred over my Musical.ly account to my TikTok account. Oh boy, and I watched my Musical.lys that I made, and oh my lord, they're so bad. I want to puke. They're so bad. It's just not good. And I'm ready to delete the whole app now, but I promised myself that I would keep it until I finish recording this podcast, then I would delete it. So I also prepared for this episode of this podcast by watching a few cringe compilations on YouTube of TikTok. Now, I watch cringe compilations all the time. There's the one I watch by Cringe Planet, I think is the name of the channel. They have like a series of cringe videos, and they're so funny. I love cringe compilations, but what I don't love are cringe compilations of TikTok. I quickly found that out last night. So I have a few observations. Number one, have y'all seen the New Soul Challenge? Have y'all seen it? If not, let me explain. So basically they took this song, and it's a remix. I don't know which remix it is. I don't know whose remix it is. I just know it's a remix of the song New Soul by, forgive me if I say your name wrong, Yael Naim. Okay. I know she's a singer, but I think she's an Israeli singer. Guys, I don't know. I think she's an Israeli singer. And basically what they do is you have two people, and they're not filming at the same time. So the first person is going to pretend to reject the other person's advances. And then it's like a really sped up version of the song. And then that person is going to pull on their own shirt, but pretend like it's the other person that's pulling it. And then the music's going to slow down, and then that person's going to pull you into a kiss. The other person will film at a separate time, and they're going to make advances towards the other person and then pretend to pull their shirt and pull them into a kiss. It's like a really simple premise. But two problems with this. One is Yael Naim sure did not intend for her song to become a TikTok challenge. And I feel the need to apologize to her on behalf of everyone that's ever used that song for TikTok. TikTok! Why do I keep saying that? TikTok challenge. Because I'm pretty sure that New Soul used to be a good song, but now I can never listen to it because all I can think about is TikTok. And actually, I know one song by her that I used to listen to a while back. I hadn't even heard of New Soul or TikTok or any of that at this time, even though New Soul came out as the same year as the song that I'm about to talk about. 2007, she had a song called Far, and it was really pretty. I thought she was a good singer. So when I saw that there was a challenge called New Soul by Yael Naim, I was like, oh, cool. And then I heard it, and I was like, it probably was a good song, but now I can't listen to it because it's associated with these people. Okay, so that's problem number one. But problem number two is you never know who's gonna duet with you. And this is a problem because sometimes the person that duets with you gives your video a whole new unintended meaning. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen these New Soul challenges in particular. Because I've seen some where a person goes in for a kiss and the other person that they're duetting with doesn't do it. And instead they do something to make the first person look completely stupid. And so, I would elaborate on this more, but it's better if you see what I'm talking about. So if you find a New Soul challenge on YouTube, I suggest you watch like a compilation video of them. If I can find one, I will link it in the description down below. But if not, then you won't see one there. But I have watched a few, so I'm going to try to find one. Anyway, duets are also problematic for an entirely different reason. But it still falls back into you never know who's gonna duet with you. And it's problematic because I've seen actual children, like actual children, lip sync and dance to songs that I am 1000% sure they already shouldn't be listening to or dancing to or lip syncing to, yet they are. And then some grown rusty tail man will duet with them. And in no world should a grown person ever duet with a kid on a song with sexual themes. That's just not okay. That's just, I shouldn't even have to say that. That's just not okay. And I've seen cringe compilations where there be a grown person and a kid, a prepubescent girl most of the time, and a grown man, will be duetting together because the girl has no idea that this man was going to add to her duet. However, like I said, in the first place, she should not have been listening or singing or lip syncing to that song anyway. But that's a different story. Anyway, what I'm talking about now is that, you know, the kid, of course, you know, where are your parents? But the grown person knows better. They know better. I don't understand that. So, like, I guess we're just grooming perverts now? Like, that's a thing? That's just what we do? Because my phone, I keep dropping my phone. Anyway, on that note, I'm taking my phone and I'm deleting TikTok right now because it's just so disgusting, and I can't even like fathom why anybody thinks that's okay, because it's not. Anyway, let me move on because I'll get angry. Get ready to get very angry. I got like one more thing to say. Yesterday I was watching another compilation. I watched quite a few, but I think this one really ticked me off. And it was called I think it's called like Maybe I'll Be Tracer. I think it's like I don't know if it's a challenge, but that was the name of the compilation I watched. It was like Maybe I'll Be Tracer compilation. So first of all, it comes from Overwatch. The song is, I don't know who wrote the song, but the song is about Overwatch. And if you've never played Overwatch before, do everyone a favor and don't lip sync to that song. Don't do it. Because it's girls like that. Girls in particular. I say that because most of them were girls. There were some guys, but most of them were girls. And it's girls like that that make girl gamers look bad. Because they have no clue who the people in the song were. They had no idea. They didn't know Tracer. They didn't know anybody else in the song. They didn't know Widowmaker. They just... It got on my nerves so much because, like I said, you have no clue who these people are. You don't even know what systems you can play it on. I saw two girls holding a PS2 controller. Let me say that again. A PlayStation 2 controller to play Overwatch. I'm at a loss for words again. I'm sitting there like, why do you make us all look bad? Why? Why do they do this? Why do you make girl gamers look horrible? You make us look like we try too hard to impress people. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, it's like, girl, if you don't go somewhere with that PlayStation 2 controller and play San Andreas or something, but you can't play Overwatch with that. I'm sorry, I'm overreacting, but I just don't like TikTok. I think it's so stupid. I think that's all I've got to say for right now. Hopefully it'll die out soon. Kind of like Triller did. I don't know if Triller died out or not, but I don't even know if it was actually a thing, really. But I do remember, I think it was like my 10th or 11th grade year. I'm leaning more towards 11th. And I think it was in Spanish class, but I'm not really sure. That was quite a while ago. I think that it was 11th grade year, junior year in high school. This girl was sitting beside me, and she was talking about Triller, the app for, what is it, making music videos? Something like that. I don't know, but she kept talking about it, like she talked about it the whole class period. And there was this other girl sitting behind her, and she was like, download Triller, do such and such and such and such. And so they were both talking about it, and then eventually like the whole class got into it. And so for the rest of the week in that particular class, everyone was talking about Triller, which I said I think is a music video making app, or it might be lip syncing too. I don't know. But anyway, it died out so quickly in that class, because after that week was over, I never heard another word about it. And actually, I forgot about it until last night. I went to go download TikTok from the Google Play Store, and under the recommended, there was Triller. And I was like, oh, there's that app. I never downloaded it, even though everyone in the class kept saying, download Triller. Anyway, I got heated. I got heated, but it's cool. It's fine. It's cool. I don't even know. I'm just frazzled right now. Anyway, that is all for this episode of Completely Random Foolishness. If you like this, if you've enjoyed this, if you just want to hear me talk some more about something stupid, then like this episode, subscribe to this podcast, and tell other people. It can't grow. We can't grow this empire if you don't tell other people. I'm trying to market. Y'all gotta help me market. If you like this, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, tell your friends, tell your neighbor, tell your neighbor's dog, I don't know, just tell people, I guess. Okay, come back next Wednesday for more, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye.